Grab MG Akabayan. This is the kind of Wimbledon moment that makes you stop whatever you're doing and say, wait, did that really just happen? Because on one side of the net, you had a champion, someone used to pressure, used to big stages, used to hearing the crowd roar after every clean strike. But on the other side, standing tall, calm, and fearless, was Alex Eala, carrying not just her racket, but the hopes, nerves, and pride of so many Filipino fans watching from everywhere. And from the very first set, you could already feel it. This was not going to be an ordinary match. The scoreline was tight, the rallies were heavy, and every point felt like it had a story behind it. First set, 5-3, and the tension was already climbing. Baseline rallies kept stretching longer and longer, with both players refusing to give even one easy ball. The champion tried to control the rhythm with deep placement, heavy balls, and sharp serves, but Alex was right there, moving with purpose, reading the play, and answering with the kind of calm that makes you forget how young she still is. You could see the champion testing her, changing direction, pushing her wide, mixing pace, trying to make her rush. But Alex did not panic. She stayed low, kept her balance, and trusted her timing. That is what made this set so interesting. It was not just power against power. It was patience against pressure. Every serve mattered. Every return mattered. The percentage of first serves became important. The small mistakes became dangerous. Double faults suddenly felt huge. Unforced errors were no longer just numbers on the stats sheet. They were momentum swings. And in a match like this, against a player with championship experience, one loose game can change everything. But Alex showed something special. She did not look like someone just hoping to survive. She looked like someone who believed she belonged there. When the set moved deeper and the pressure became louder, the champion started holding more firmly, trying to remind everyone why she was the one with the big reputation. There were moments when you could say, okay, this is much better from the champion now. The serves were cleaner, the ground strokes were stronger, and the control from the baseline looked more solid. The crowd could feel the champion trying to reset the match, trying to take back the authority. But Alex kept coming back with answers. A beautiful return here, a brave shot there, a clean redirect down the line. And suddenly, every time the champion looked ready to pull away, Alex would drag the match right back into a fight. That is where the mental side became the real battlefield. Because tennis at this level is not just about who hits harder. It is about who can breathe properly when the scoreboard gets scary, who can stay focused after missing a shot, who can calm down when the crowd gets loud, who can still choose the right ball when the hands are shaking a little. And Alex, in that first set, showed real mental toughness. At 5-3, the match looked like it could slide away fast. But instead of rushing, instead of forcing miracle shots, she stayed composed. She kept the rallies alive. She kept asking one more question of the champion. Can you hit one more? Can you stay consistent one more time? Can you handle this pressure one more point? And that is how the set slowly turned into something dramatic. Then came the tiebreak, and a knockout. This is where every Filipino fan watching probably felt their heartbeat go faster. The tiebreak started with the champion ahead, 5-3, and at that point, it looked like the experience might be enough. The champion had the edge. The champion had the history. The champion had the reputation. But Alex had the belief. And in these moments, belief can be just as dangerous as a big forehand. She did not look away from the moment. She did not let the score scare her. She stayed locked in, point by point, refusing to give the set away. Then the tiebreak became wild. The score reached 9-9, and by then, the whole match felt like it was hanging in the air. One serve, one return, one mistake, one brave swing. That is how thin the line was. The champion tried to hold her ground with solid strokes, especially from the baseline, but Alex kept absorbing the pressure. She kept her eyes on the ball, kept her feet alive, and kept choosing smart targets. You could almost hear the message in her body language. Calm down, stay here, play the next ball. And then, finally, Alex found the opening. She took control at the right time, stayed brave without being reckless, and closed the first set 11-9 in the tiebreak. First set to Alex Eala. What a moment. What a statement. Because winning a tight set against a champion is not just about the scoreboard. It changes the feeling of the whole match. Suddenly, the champion knows this opponent is not going away. Suddenly, the crowd knows this is real. Suddenly, Alex is not just playing well. She is threatening the champion on one of tennis' biggest stages. But of course, champions do not disappear easily. After losing that kind of first set, many players would drop their shoulders. But the champion responded. She held serve, steadied herself, and tried to bring back that familiar authority. You could see her telling herself to stay solid, to make Alex play more balls, to trust the ground strokes again. And for a while, yes, it looked much better. The champion's timing improved. The rallies became sharper. The ball started coming heavier. There were moments when she struck cleanly enough to earn loud cheers and applause. The crowd reacted because they knew the champion was trying to rise again. But then Alex produced another beautiful return, the kind of shot that cuts through the tension and makes everyone lean forward. Not just a lucky swing, not just a desperate hit, but a confident return with purpose. And that was the thing about Alex in this match. She was not simply reacting. She was making decisions. She was seeing the ball early. She was placing it well. She was making the champion uncomfortable. Again and again, when the champion tried to settle into rhythm, Alex disrupted it. When the rally looked neutral, Alex found a way to change direction. When the champion expected a safe ball, Alex sometimes stepped in and attacked. And when the champion pushed hard, Alex defended with discipline. That balance was the key. She did not play careless tennis. She played brave tennis. Big difference. The crowd started to feel the story growing. Every cheer became louder. Every applause felt more emotional. For Filipino fans, this was not just another match from the tennis calendar. This was one of those moments where you feel represented, where you see someone from home standing across from a champion and not backing down. And that is why Alex's performance hit differently. It was the poise, the fight, the quiet confidence. She did not need to shout after every point. She did not need to act like she was shocked to be there. She played like she had prepared for this. She played like she knew the level would be high, and she was ready to meet it. Meanwhile, the champion kept searching. There were still strongholds, still excellent ground strokes, still flashes of why she is so respected. But tennis can be cruel when momentum starts to move away from you. One unforced error feels heavier. One missed first serve invites pressure. One double fault can shake the whole game. And Alex was right there to punish every small opening. Her consistency became a weapon. Her focus became a weapon. Her calm became a weapon. And little by little, the champion started feeling the weight of the match. Not because she stopped fighting, but because Alex kept making her fight harder than expected. That is what separates a good performance from a breakthrough performance. Alex was not just hitting winners for highlights. She was building points, choosing placement, stretching the court, and staying mentally present even when the match became messy. There were rallies where both players traded from the baseline with serious intensity, and you could see the champion trying to overpower her. But Alex stood firm. She took the ball, redirected it, stayed in the exchange, and waited for the right chance. And when the chance came, she did not freeze. She stepped in. That takes guts. That takes training. That takes heart. By the time the match reached its final stage, the pressure had completely changed shape. At the beginning, the pressure was on Alex to prove she could compete. But now, the pressure was on the champion to survive. That is a huge shift. The champion was no longer just playing her game. She was answering Alex's challenge. And Alex, with every point, looked more and more convinced that this was her day. The crowd noise rose again. Cheers, applause, gasps after returns, reactions after long rallies. You could feel the energy of a possible upset. But even there, Alex had to finish the job. And finishing against a champion is sometimes the hardest part. Many players can get close. Many players can lead. But closing the door, especially when the opponent has championship pride, is another level. Alex had to stay sharp. No rushing. No celebrating too early. No thinking about history before the last ball. Just one more point. One more serve. One more return. One more disciplined rally. And that is exactly what she did. She kept her mind steady, kept her focus tight, and refused to let the moment become too big. Then came the final push. The champion still fought, still tried to hold, still tried to use experience to extend the match. But Alex was ready. She stayed brave on return. She stayed committed in the rallies. She kept the ball deep enough, placed it smartly enough, and forced the champion to keep playing under stress. And finally, the moment arrived. Game, set, match, Alex Eala. The champion was beaten. 2-0. Just like that, the story was written. Not with noise, not with luck, not with one random hot streak, but with focus, consistency, mental toughness, and fearless shot-making. For Filipino fans, this kind of victory feels bigger than tennis. It feels like a reminder that our athletes can step onto the biggest stages in the world and stand tall. Alex did not just win points, she won belief. She showed that even against a champion, even when the first set becomes a war, even when the tiebreak reaches 9-9 and the whole court is holding its breath, she can stay calm and choose courage. That first set, 11-9 in the tiebreak, was the heart of the match. That was where she proved she could handle the pressure. That was where she turned danger into opportunity. And after that, she never let the champion fully breathe again. So if you watch this match, you already know why people are talking. It was the comeback from 5-3 pressure. It was the tiebreak drama. It was the beautiful return. It was the champion holding, then Alex answering again. It was the applause, the tension, the baseline battles, the unforced errors, the double faults, the placement, the consistency, the focus. It was everything that makes tennis so emotional. But most of all, it was Alex Eala showing the world that she is not just here to participate. She is here to compete, to fight, and to make history feel possible. And for every Kabayan watching, one thing is clear. This was not just a win. This was a statement.